Guys, I want to welcome all of you back here again. I apologize that I have not been able to put out any videos here lately to keep you all informed of the current events that are happening, such as the Asian aircraft that went down in San Francisco and the Zimmerman trial that had returned a verdict of a not guilty that created a firestorm all across the nation with this NAACP promoting a race war card against the white people and the new threats of the so-called Black Panther group who are threatening to become violent against white people if there's another injustice against the black people. And this the new threats that are coming from the Black Panthers after this event that happened with the George Zimmerman case coming back as a not guilty verdict. But anyhow, this is not a video about this case. I will cover those grounds in another time in another video about those current events that are happening right now in the media and many more. But in the meantime, I want you all to focus on this document here because my wife found this information last night, and I want you all to get a clear understanding as to this document that we're showing you and the purpose of why we're showing you this, because this gives even more confirmation, clarity to all of our claims that we have been making on every video as to these so-called mock media events that have been going on all across the country for the last year and a half. In fact, I believe, in my honest opinion, even way back before even the 9/11 events even happened. For all of my reasons, which I'm protecting my opinions all to myself, I do believe that even 9/11 was a fake staged event, even though they made the buildings come down and had a bunch of people standing in front of a camera running from the events of 9/11 when the two towers came down. But there's something about these stories that have me very, very suspicious as to the authentications of the events that had unfolded. And the events that have currently happened inside of the Sandy Hook and also the Aurora shootings, the Oregon shootings, including the Boston, Massachusetts, all those events had led me to believe that they were all staged and all faked media reports that surrounded those events. And due to the so-called evidence that they were trying to sell to the public with what they call their poster witnesses and family members that were so supposedly allegedly witnesses to the heinous crimes that they're trying to sell to the public that had happened. Now, when you look at this document here, which I'm not going to go into grave details with it, I'm going to let you all read it yourself. I will have the video, the link here posted below the video. But my wife highlights, which I want you all to look at this link here because it helps you to understand what she's pointed out in the document to give you more of a clarity and understanding as to why that they're coming out forwards now and admitting that they're using fake news, fake media, mocked courtrooms, and also mocked budgets. In other words, let's give you an example here where these so-called victims that we've been trying to say to you all that had died around Boston, Massachusetts, these victims immediately came forwards before the events have happened and created Facebook accounts that were looking for fundraisers and looked for people to donate money to the cause of them being victims. And these all happened in the wake of each event, and each so-called quote-unquote victims that claimed to be the victims of these staged events were all definitely extorting millions of dollars. But they made it look like that the funds were already on the Facebook, had already been donated to them by several hundreds of thousands of people, because the funds seemed to be over $1 million real quick in less than a short amount of time. And this right here is showing you what they call mocked budgeting or mocked budget. But it's not just only with that, it's also to deal with creating fake bank accounts and how fast it's possible to create a fake bank account and hack into a software company and siphon all of their money and their payroll out of their accounts and siphon it into a fake bank account all within 48 hours. And this was done in what they estimated in a drill exercise of how fast that this can be done in a very manipulative way. But here we have also where this group is also admitting to be using simulated attacks and then blame it on Anonymous. These are all, of course, are all staged events, fake events that are apparently that they're trying to make look realistic. Now, I have mentioned to you all that CENTCOM and the company called Intrepid was the ones who created Anonymous Group. Now, I've tried to warn you all that Anonymous is not one of us. They are not a truth movement or a truth group that represents truth. These people here are put into position to be blamed for these simulated events so that it would give it the more realization as to these events being real. And that's the whole purpose why Anonymous was put into position. But it was done in a reverse psychology to entrap anyone who supports them and carries out the attacks or carries out the events that they are promoting their followers, their viewers and supporters to do. And this is what the whole purpose of this mock media is for, is to give it more clarity, more realization that these events are a factual instead of an actual a fraudulent staged event. And you will see in the document that they even admitted that it's their whole purpose. They admitted it's faking social media, and taking advantage of faking social media. They admitted that they're doing it to make it realistic. And as you will see, and this is also another document here, shows another photograph in that document that admits about creating what they call a mocked courtroom. Why are they trying to create fake media, fake courtrooms? Why are they trying to create fake stories like Boston, Massachusetts? What are the major goals and the major purposes behind this wide-scale, large-funded, contracted agendas for? What does it stand for us? Okay, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, anytime they use a staged event and make it as hyper-realistic as possible, but not share with the public that these are just training exercises, but they want to persuade the public to believing that these are real, has very high-level dangers, implications behind them. In other words, it gives the ability and it enables the government to pass laws around these staged events that will annihilate your freedoms, that will take your ability of surviving in a free society and just completely annihilating that, and then putting you all into prison camps to keep you from rising back up against those who've taken your freedoms away from you all. That is the whole purpose why they're using these staged events. They're using Boston, Massachusetts as a staged event to not only tell you a story about martial law, that martial law is going to be imminent in your country, but they're also using it to take more and more of your freedoms away from you, of passing those laws and legislations to put more security implications into your cities, more justification for drone aircrafts to spy on American people and even target American people on American soil. Because now they made it to where the whole entire nation no longer trusts each other anymore. They made you so afraid of one another now that they want you to now give them permission now to use the drone aircrafts to spy on the very people that are afraid of them. Because it's you that they're implicating as being that terrorist. It's me that they're implicating as being that terrorist. And hell, it's even a John Doe taxpayer that has no idea, no knowledge as to the fraudulence or support either side, the truth movement or the government movement. It even has their cameras on those people who are not even watching what they're doing or even investigating or researching as to what they're doing. But as you will find out on here, everything that are in this document and much more are all going to be listed in here. The hyperlinks are all posted in this blog, which will be posted below the video, including the original document where my wife had found this document, are also going to be posted in there. And one in particular thing here that I want to share with you all is this right here. This is an actual group, another group that is a part of the spreading rumors and misinformation. They're known as they're called as Rumorzilla, which there are partnerships with this so-called mocked media group known as the EMI SIG group, and they are sitting up here admitting right here. Watch this carefully. Check out the info on Boston bombings, tweets, success. They're bragging and boasting of how that they use propaganda, fake media, and successfully done it in the newspapers through the social media and calling it heroes battling rumors. Isn't that interesting? And then you just click on this link right here, and it takes you directly to that link where they're bragging and boasting of how successful it became, that they lied to the American people. And they sold the story of Boston, Massachusetts as being a real event. Guys, I've only shared this with you so many times. And if you don't believe me that link actually exists, it's right here. And you can go read about it. Also, this mock media group is conducting all of these fake news, fake court systems, and cyber fake stories, and creating it all from out of the Los Alamos laboratories. And this is what's really interesting, is that you all thought Los Alamos laboratories was only investing all of your donated money and all of your fund that you have given to these people in research, was researching biological viruses and biological weapons. Guys, think again. These people are not just only in that category working now. We now discovered that they're doing a whole lot more than just simply focusing on biological warfare or biological weapons or deadly strains of virus that are the most deadliest viruses known to mankind. These people are into something more dirtier than you can ever shake a stick on. But nonetheless, guys, this is more information to share with you all. Staging trauma. And these are actors admitting that they're staging trauma. Why wait, big question, for a disaster? This is the whole principle why I kept trying to share with you all that you need to take a closer look at all these events, because they're using trauma and staged events to make them look realistic. We've shared with you documents on top of documents, including the government document bill, the HR 5736 bill that was passed, that now allows them to use propaganda news to sell to the American people as real news. This is disgraceful. Why would you want to use, and why would you want to allow your government to use propaganda news to tell you lies? Why do you want to hear lies for? I thought we were a nation looking only for the truth and only want to hear the truth, not to hear lies. What good is, and then you pay them money to hear propaganda news? Guys, it's no longer trustworthy anymore. You no longer can trust the media anymore. And you're paying for it every day as long as that you keep allowing them to have these kind of executive rights. End of subject. Here we go again. You see where FEMA was even on the Time newspaper, on the Time Warner newspaper, admitting that they were even using fake news and creating fake press conferences. Huge news, guys. This is old news, actually. This is huge news to actually catch it on a mainstream media admitting it. Admitting to these fraudulent creatures that are running our government right now. Who are these people? Why are they in our country? Why are they manipulating our people? Why is our own president involved in these fraudulent crimes? Why are they in the act of treason to deceive and defraud the American people? And not just only us, but every country around the world. Because that fraud doesn't just only endanger the American people. That fraud also endangers the lives of innocent people in foreign countries, because they're making wars against those people by a fraudulent claim, such as 9/11 being blamed on Iraq and Afghanistan. But none of these countries had anything to do with 9/11. You remember, originally, they didn't know who did it. Then they all of a sudden said bin Laden did it. But the evidence showed clearly that bin Laden had nothing to do with 9/11. But they were looking for an angle and a justification to go inside of Iraq and Afghanistan, because why? They wanted to make sure that they got control of the poppy fields inside of Russia. And they wanted to get control of the government and reshape the government of Iraq by putting in a rogue government, which was the Israeli Mossad, into power of the Iraqi government. And that was the whole purpose behind it. But ladies and gentlemen, by saying that, all the information I shared with you all are all going to be posted below the video. I encourage you all and urge you all to read them and research everything we share with you. And by saying that, that's all I have to say for you tonight. Y'all have a good time. Y'all take care.